It's a Friday night on the Las Vegas Strip, once the beating heart of American nightlife. Neon signs still glow, the fountains at Bellagio still dance, and limousines still line up outside Caesar's Palace. But look closer. The sidewalks aren't as crowded as they used to be. The buzz feels thinner, quieter, like a radio turned just below full volume. Inside the casinos, dealers shuffle cards for half-empty tables. Restaurants offer specials that used to be normal prices. Hotel staff whisper about cut hours and empty rooms. It's not the Vegas you remember, and certainly not the Vegas the corporations promised investors. Over the last 2 years, visitor numbers have fallen, revenues have dropped, and spending per tourist has shrunk. Caesars Entertainment, once a powerhouse, was kicked out of the S&P 500. MGM has quietly laid off workers. Wynn and Venetian are fighting to keep their high rollers coming back. So, what's really happening? Why are people, especially middle-class Americans, skipping the Strip altogether? Is it inflation, corporate greed, overpricing, or simply that Vegas has lost its magic? Before we jump into the data, one thing is clear: the Strip is no longer the playground it used to be. It's turning into something colder, a luxury bubble built for the few, while the many quietly walk away. In this episode, we'll dig into the hard truths behind the Strip's downturn, the shrinking foot traffic, the falling hotel occupancy, and the deep corporate missteps driving tourists away from the city that once defined fun itself. For decades, the Las Vegas Strip wasn't just a place, it was an idea. A glowing promise that you could step off the plane, forget your worries, and live like a millionaire for a weekend. It was affordable luxury, a fantasy built for everyone. But that dream is fading fast. According to recent tourism data, Las Vegas visitor numbers have dropped by millions compared to pre-pandemic highs. The average occupancy rate, once near 90%, is now struggling to stay above 70% on non-event weeks. The Strip still hosts mega concerts, F1 races, and Super Bowl weekends, but in between those spikes, casinos are seeing an unfamiliar sight: silence. What changed? Start with pricing. The average nightly room rate has climbed over $200, with hidden resort fees adding another $40, $1.50 a night. Add in inflated dining prices, a $28 burger, a $20 cocktail, a service wellness charge you never agreed to, and the illusion of value disappears. The Strip used to be the cheapest luxury in America. Now, it's a tax on nostalgia. Then there's corporate overreach. When MGM, Caesars, and Wynn turned Vegas into a spreadsheet, the soul went missing. Promotions that once rewarded loyalty became algorithmic dynamic pricing. Free parking vanished, comps dried up. Casinos now treat guests less like VIPs, more like data points, and tourists noticed. Social media is filled with videos of travelers comparing old Vegas to the new, the free buffets, the cheap rooms, the $2 margaritas, all replaced by premium experiences few can afford. One viral clip summed it up perfectly. Vegas used to take your money with a smile, now it takes your joy too. Even the city's biggest shows are feeling it. Attendance for Cirque du Soleil productions is down. Restaurants at luxury hotels report lower table turns. Taxi and rideshare data show fewer Strip pickups after midnight, a once unthinkable sign of decline. What's left is a city in transition from playground of the people to a luxury enclave chasing whales, influencers, and corporate events. But when you build an empire on constant excitement and high foot traffic, losing your middle class isn't just bad, it's existential. Let's look beyond the flashing lights because the numbers tell a brutal story. In 2023, Las Vegas hit 40 million visitors, which sounds impressive until you remember it was over 42 million in 2019. 2 million fewer tourists might not sound catastrophic, but when every visitor spends an average of $1,000 per trip, that's a $2 billion hole in the city's economy. Now, take a closer look at casino revenue. According to Nevada Gaming Control Board data, gaming revenue across the Strip has slipped several percentage points year over year, the first consistent drop since the post-pandemic boom. Slot play is down. Table game spending has cooled. Even high-limit baccarat, the favorite of Asian VIPs, has slowed since travel restrictions eased. Meanwhile, hotel occupancy has quietly fallen from around 90% to the mid-70s, and that's before you factor in the brand new rooms flooding the market from the Fontainebleau Resorts World and MSG Sphere districts. The supply is growing, but the demand isn't keeping up. And what about the average daily rate, the lifeblood of hotel profit margins? It's climbed sharply, surpassing $200 per night on average, but that's not necessarily good news. When rates go up while occupancy drops, it signals something dangerous. People aren't booking because they can't justify the price. That pain extends beyond the casino floor. Restaurant receipts are down. Retail tenants report thinner margins. Even convention bookings, long considered Vegas's safety net, are seeing cancellations from companies seeking cheaper venues in Phoenix, Dallas, and Orlando. Then there's the stock market reality. Caesars Entertainment, once a Wall Street favorite, was removed from the S&P 500 index after a year of falling share prices and disappointing earnings. Its debt load, $12.3 billion, a mountain that now looks heavier with each quarter of slowing revenue. MGM Resorts is treading water after cybersecurity breaches and heavy layoffs, while Wynn Resorts is pouring millions into Asia to offset its American slowdown. Insiders call it the squeeze. On one side, inflation drives costs higher: wages, utilities, maintenance, food. On the other, tourists spend less, cutting nights short or skipping Vegas altogether. The result? Margins shrink, pressure mounts, and executives scramble to find someone else to blame. Even the legendary Bellagio fountains and Caesars Palace colonnades can't distract investors forever. Analysts now describe the Strip as saturated, over-leveraged, and operationally fragile. Yet, the scariest metric isn't financial, it's emotional. Surveys from travel forums and Reddit threads show a growing sentiment. Vegas isn't fun anymore. That's not just a slogan problem, it's a brand identity crisis. When your business model depends on people feeling alive and they start feeling robbed, the numbers stop lying. So what's driving millions of people to cross Vegas off their travel list? The short answer: they're tired of feeling ripped off. Vegas used to sell a dream, the idea that anyone, from a construction worker to a teacher, could come here, drop a few bucks, and feel like royalty for a night. Now, that same dream feels gated, fenced off behind VIP ropes, exclusive experiences, and endless fees. Start with the hidden costs. Visitors have coined a term for it: the Vegas tax. It's not official, but it's everywhere. A $45 resort fee for Wi-Fi and gym access you never use, a wellness charge on your dinner bill, a service fee that doesn't go to your waiter. Even parking, once proudly free, now costs $25 a day at most major resorts. Then there's the food inflation. One viral TikTok showed a $26 burger and $8 soda at a casual restaurant inside Park MGM. Another visitor posted their bill: $82 for 2 slices of pizza and 2 Cokes at Italy. Locals in the comments simply said, "Welcome to the new Vegas." For families, the math is brutal. A 3-night stay that once cost $600 can now exceed $1,500 with fees, food, and entertainment. For many, that's an entire mortgage payment. So, they're choosing to go elsewhere. Miami, Nashville, even smaller casino hubs like Reno and Atlantic City, where prices still make sense. But cost alone isn't the full story. Vegas has also lost its warmth. The mob-run Vegas of the 72nds may have been rough, but it had a rule: treat your customers like kings. Today, you're greeted by automated kiosks, dynamic pricing, and staff stretched thin after layoffs. The magic is gone. Visitors describe the Strip as corporate, sterile, even soulless. Casinos have turned into shopping malls with slot machines. Live bands have been replaced by DJs. Lounge acts and free drinks, the symbols of old-school Vegas hospitality, are memories from a vanished era. And then there's the crowd shift. Vegas used to be for gamblers and weekend thrill seekers. Now it's full of influencers chasing Instagram shots, bachelorette parties flooding pool clubs, and corporate conferences booking up entire resorts. The middle-class gambler, the person who built Vegas, is quietly staying home. On Reddit, one user summed it up perfectly: Vegas isn't about luck anymore, it's about money theirs, not yours. That single sentence captures the new reality. Vegas has priced out the very people who kept it alive. So, as tourists vote with their wallets, the Strip finds itself at a crossroads. Either it remembers what made it magical, or it becomes another overpriced luxury brand no one feels connected to. Drive 10 minutes off the Strip, past the fountains, the mega resorts, and the LED billboards, and you'll find a very different Las Vegas. The people who keep the Strip running, live here, the dealers, the line cooks, the hotel maids, the Uber drivers, and they're the ones feeling the downturn hardest. Inside a dimly lit diner on Tropicana Avenue, Maria, a former housekeeper at Bellagio, stirs her coffee and shrugs. "They cut my hours first," she says. "Then they said occupancy was low, so they let me go. 20 years I worked there. 20. Stories like hers echo across the valley. When hotel occupancy dips, labor is the first thing trimmed. Thousands of hourly workers have seen shifts vanish or benefits reduced. Some have turned to gig work, driving ride shares late into the night, waiting for tourists who no longer come. Even small business owners, the people who thrive on Vegas foot traffic, are struggling. A souvenir shop owner near Flamingo says his sales are down nearly 30% since last year. People come in, they take pictures, they laugh, but they don't buy, he sighs. Everyone's counting their dollars now. The city's service culture, once its proudest trait, is fading too. Hotel workers describe burnout and low morale. Tipped employees say guests are angrier, stingier, and quicker to vent online. The cheerful Vegas smile that once defined the city is now harder to find behind the forced politeness of exhausted staff. Even locals who don't work on the Strip feel the shift. Rents are rising as hospitality workers move out of the core. Traffic has worsened from endless construction. And new luxury developments, billion-dollar hotels, sports arenas, mega residences seem to exist in another universe. "It's like there are two Las Vegases now," says Thomas, a bartender downtown. "One for the rich and one for the rest of us." And they barely touch. City officials promise that big events, F1, the Super Bowl, and music residencies will reinvigorate the local economy. But many residents see through it. They say the profits rarely trickle down. Wages stagnate while corporate executives collect bonuses for cost reduction. In Old Vegas, the city's energy came from connection dealers joking with guests, waiters remembering your drink, locals sneaking into buffets after midnight. Today, everything feels transactional, automated, sterile, and when the locals lose faith in the Strip, something fundamental breaks. Because Vegas was never just built on money. It was built on people, the ones who smiled, served, and made every visitor feel like a winner. If you want to understand why Las Vegas feels broken, you have to follow the money, not the chips. Once upon a time, Vegas was run by gamblers, showmen, and dreamers. They built palaces in the desert because they believed in magic. But today, the city is run by corporations and spreadsheets, and the magic doesn't fit on a balance sheet. Let's start with MGM Resorts, the largest operator on the Strip. In 2024, MGM announced record revenues, but dig deeper, and you'll see the profit didn't come from gaming. It came from fees, price hikes, and labor cuts. Resort fees, parking fees, event surcharges, all those little line items that make guests furious are now a major revenue stream. Meanwhile, the company quietly laid off hundreds of employees after a cyber attack crippled its systems. Instead of rebuilding staff morale, they doubled down on automation, digital check-ins, AI concierge, self-ordering kiosks. It's efficient, sure, but it also strips away the human touch that made Vegas feel alive. Then there's Caesars Entertainment, once the crown jewel of American hospitality. Today, it's drowning under $12.3 billion in debt, fighting to stay profitable by slashing loyalty rewards and squeezing every guest for incremental revenue. After being removed from the S&P 500, Caesars executives reassured investors with cost discipline. But to customers, that discipline looks like fewer comps, smaller portions, and higher prices. Wynn and Encore, the luxury end of the Strip, aren't innocent either. Their strategy has shifted toward ultra-high-end clientele, Asian whales, crypto elites, private jet travelers. It's a small, lucrative segment, but a fragile one. When the global economy tightens or travel slows, there's no middle market left to catch the fall. In corporate boardrooms, this all sounds rational. But on the ground, it's toxic. Guests feel nickel and dimed, locals feel replaceable, employees feel invisible. Even the pricing model itself has changed. Vegas once thrived on the loss leader model, cheap rooms and buffets that brought you in, so you'd spend on the tables. Now, the hotels are the table. Everything is designed to extract maximum yield before you even gamble. Dynamic pricing, the same tech airlines use now, sets your hotel and restaurant rates minute by minute. That's why your Friday night room at $179 can jump to $429 an hour later. It's not luck. It's an algorithm designed to win, and you're the bet. As one former casino executive put it, Vegas used to make you feel rich while taking your money. Now, it just takes your money. And that's the problem. Because the Strip isn't collapsing from lack of demand, it's collapsing from overexploitation. The question now isn't whether Las Vegas is changing, it's whether it can survive what it's becoming. Because every empire built on illusion eventually faces reality. Economists say the Strip's slowdown is a symptom of over-monetization, a system that squeezed its own customers until they simply walked away. But the future isn't set in stone. There are two possible paths ahead, and they couldn't be more different. Scenario 1, the Strip doubles down. Corporations continue raising prices, cutting staff, and focusing on high-end clientele. Vegas becomes a city for the rich, a luxury bubble where $30 cocktails and $500 a night rooms are the norm. It'll survive on mega events, influencers, and convention money, but the soul of old Vegas will vanish completely. The lights will stay on, but they'll shine for fewer people. Scenario 2, the Strip reboots. This is the Vegas revival. Many locals are praying for one, where the city remembers who it was built for. A return to value-driven fun, real entertainment, personal service, and hospitality that doesn't come with a QR code. Small casinos, local restaurants, and off-strip venues are already experimenting with this model, and it's working. Fremont Street's foot traffic is rising. Budget hotels off Sahara are selling out weekends. But the window for change is closing fast. Once a city loses its reputation for joy, rebuilding it is like rebuilding trust after betrayal. It takes years and a new generation of dreamers. The irony? Vegas doesn't need to reinvent itself. It just needs to remember itself. The magic was never about marble floors or robotic bartenders. It was about the feeling that for one night, you were free to laugh, to risk, to win. And that's something no corporation can automate. Las Vegas still glitters, but it glitters differently now. The lights haven't dimmed, but the warmth behind them has. What was once the city of chances has turned into a city of charges. Every smile feels automated, every gesture calculated, every moment monetized. You can still find the illusion if you look hard enough, the shimmer of the Bellagio fountains, the echo of Sinatra somewhere between slot machines, the hum of possibility on a lucky night. But beneath the neon lies a truth Vegas can't hide forever. It's running out of magic. The Strip was built on the idea that joy should be accessible, that you didn't need to be rich to feel alive. Lose that, and you lose the heartbeat of the city itself. So maybe the question isn't what happened to Vegas, it's who took it from us. Tell us what you think. Has Las Vegas gone too far to win back its soul? Or can the city that sold dreams for a living find a way to dream again? If you love deep dives like this, hit like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications because next week we uncover what really happened to the Vegas workforce behind the glamour.